This show is sponsored by HamiltonDomains.com, where you can get your domain starting at just $10.
All right, Andy Broadway here with Tech Biz Geeks, and we're about ready to go into the very first drone expo at the Los Angeles Sports Arena. So let's go. Andy Broadway here with Tech Biz Geeks, and I'm here with Patrick, right?
Yes, sir.
Patrick, thanks a lot. So the name of your company is?
AerialMediaPros.com.
All right, so we're at probably one of the very first drone conventions that I'm aware of, and right here we're at the Los Angeles Sports Arena in Los Angeles, obviously. All right, so what do you got going on here today?
Awesome. So what we got at AerialMediaPros.com is we specialize in aerocopters for the film industry, from anyone starting off and want to film with something like a GoPro, or all the way up to cinematographers that want to film like feature films using a Red Epic, filming in 5K or something like that. So we bridge the gap from entry level all the way up to the professional level.
So where does the entry level start at, price-wise, and what kind of camera am I putting on that?
So if I were just getting into it, I'd start with something called the Phantom. We have what's called the Phantom Pro Pack, and that's going to come with an all turnkey system for about $1,500 to $1,600, and that'll give you a GoPro footage. You know, you still film in HD. It's going to give you a great opportunity to fly around and learn how to frame up your shots and learn how to capture the footage. And then after that, you can move on to some larger cameras.
So am I dropping in my own GoPro in there, or is it already got like a GoPro type of camera already on it?
You would go ahead and get your own GoPro, depending on if you want like a silver or black, and then put that right into the copter.
Yeah, cool. Now right behind us here, we can't really see, but you've got like a 6-blade with the blade on the top and the bottom. So explain, what are we putting on that one and how much that one costs?
So one of the really nice things that came on the market was called the DJI Ronin, and that was a handheld gimbal. It's very stable, gives you really amazing footage. So we wanted to develop a copter that could carry that. It's heavy, about 9 pounds, so we had to use a copter that's going to have the thrust, and that's actually an 8-blade copter called a coaxial. And if we had 8 blades all staggered, it would make a large footprint. So by doing it coaxial, one on top, bottom, we're able to get the same lift and thrust of a flat 8, but you get the compactability of an X8. So it gives you the best of both worlds. You get the lift and power, but at the same time you can transport it.
All right, so what, now let's go back to the very first one, the entry time. I guess that's this one sitting right over here, which we'll get some B-roll on later. But what are we looking at flight time on that one with batteries?
So flight time on that's what's called our Ag Pro Pack, and that's a really great tool for scouting crops. So for farmers who want to see the condition of their crops, where it needs to get water put onto, where the attention needs to go, that will fly for about 25 minutes. But what they really like is the ability to do waypoint navigation by using your iPad. You just tap where you want it to go, and then it'll map it out. So 25-minute flight time, HD footage with a live video feedback down to your monitor. So that's a good turnkey package for them.
So you're using your iPad to drop in GPS coordinates, and it's just going to fly that baby, grab some footage, come back, and you're ready to go.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, cool. All right, so now what's the flight time on this big, well, what are we calling this one here?
This is called a Skyjib 8. It's an Aeronavix. Flight time on that's going to be about 7 to 10 minutes with that payload, because we've got about a 20-pound payload with the camera and the gimbal system.
Yeah. Okay, so then, so we got the gimbal system. That's not yours. You bought that gimbal system from somebody else.
Correct.
Right.
That's a DJI Ronin.
Okay. All right. And then, so we got, and then the batteries on that. What are we looking at? Charge time and that sort of thing.
So charge time is about 40 minutes. There's 6 cell. We can either go with dual 10,000s or dual 16,000s, and it'll give you a flight time of about 7 to 12 minutes.
Got it.
About
Okay.
45 minutes to an hour to charge.
Okay, cool. And then what are we looking at price-wise on this one?
Price range goes from about 20 to 28,000, complete turnkey system.
Okay. That turnkey, including the gimbal?
Includes the gimbal, everything but the camera, HD downlink, so zero latency HD downlink also.
What do you mean by HD downlink?
So most downlinks to view on the TV monitor. So while you're flying, you want to see what the camera's capturing, so the camera operator can film up the shot. Most of them are standard def, which is still good. You're going to get the job done. But some producers, they want to see it in HD, so you can see how your camera settings are, your exposure and stuff like that. So a good HD downlink is very needed.
So what's the range on that HD downlink?
A little over a mile.
Really? Wow.
That's actually a Paralinx Tomahawk system. It's one of the most reliable systems, but what I really like about it is zero latency. So if you use something else, you're usually going to get like an 80 millisecond delay, and it's just impossible to frame shots up with that stuff.
So that's pretty amazing. So now we've got that camera, and that drone, this drone. Now we've got another one sitting over here. Is that the same thing, or are we looking at?
You know what? That's a really good 4K solution. That has a Panasonic GH4, which films in 4K. Same thing, it's a dual operator system. So you have a flight time of about 15 minutes. One person flies the copter, the other person uses the camera, frames up the shot. And that's a good solution for shooting other than red. So if you want something that shoots in 4K and you want to be able to cut that footage into red cinema quality, that's a really great solution. And that turnkey goes for about 10 grand.
So for 10 grand for that, batteries, gimbal, everything except for the camera.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so what are the model numbers on these? So as people go to your website and look, what are we looking at for the first one that we talked about?
Great. So go to aerometerpros.com. The first package is going to be like the GoPro package, and you can look at the Phantom Pro pack, or you can look at the Phantom Ag Scout, the Pro Ag Scout. Then we can move on up to like an HD 4K camera, which is the Octocopter over there, and that is about $7,000 to $10,000 depending on which accessories and setup you want. And then the last one is going to be the Aeronavic Skyjib 8, and that's about $20,000 to $28,000.
Okay, so I guess the last question is for people that may not want to make the entire investment into it, do you guys do rentals, or do you have operators that could come out and operate it, etc.?
We have aerial filming teams, and just depending on the gig, you can call for a quote for that. So we can send a pilot and camera operator out to do your gig for you. But we're also entertaining leasing options, financing options. So that's something that we're going to be bringing in real soon.
All right, super. So let's recap with your website one more time.
Aerometerpros.com.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching TechBiz Geeks. You can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TechBizGeeks. You can watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/TechBizGeeks. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TechBizGeeks. You can also subscribe to our RSS feed at techbizgeeks.com. Thank you for watching.